Yes, hello, good morning, and welcome to Ivan Che Innocent One here on YouTube. Makase, Unyan subscribe here, try subscribe to this channel and let's grow together. Here we are once again. We are sure say who follow development across Ghana. Giddy 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 giddy. The hottest issue in town has to do with galamsey, the fight, the approach, the other people involved, prosecution. And then on the radar, people were asking again the government area. The last time I went to Joy FM, my Joy Prime, my conversation or discussion, I say this whole galamsey fight, the only way government bet me a Sunday message clear out there to people out there, and they say, Yabaya, Diabaku pet. Sadiano, and then at the house. Chairman Wontumi rearrested and reigned before another high court. That is the phrase. Good. So, Chairman Wontumi and Nededuyai, Attorney General, during president encounter with your friend saying, CSO, so he mentioned said the docket on Chairman Wontumi are ready because a lot of people were worried. Said they're not bad. Yeah, the gigi kwachi a jano or bano kikan kwasi asema I mekoye na say as if said the case is dead. Hold on. So he gave an assurance said that particular case will resurface and the Monday they were going to call him. Indeed, they called him. Tuesday, Andra, he was arraigned before court. Granting a bail. Bail na chino. You sign no signed in another court. Setting the stage said some prosecution has started. Because my character I don't understand why one of the most pressing issue Edienya galamsey. Na previous government here call ye enkrofo ko bi bo abro adwemo ne sensu sensase impact ne consequences and am Ghana for their bufo na honte kasa the way they are asking omo kasa expecting prasenka within 9 months Kadwa Mahama enya magic. Now the whole galamsey when they vanish, which is not possible. So my point is that to demonstrate that particular way, you go by prosecuting people who in the past, got involved in this. And that's exactly what the government has responded to. This whole situation ever. But before I come to the Wontumi situation, let me brief you on what happened today. Akoso say sa your friend is saying not this one. Good. I don't know who know. Nimos. Sa team na almost set in motion adwuma go into operations. Said they win him no. And corner mo call no. Omo this particular operation baby ho Aboso Prestia Henny Valley District. And at this particular operation so Morantia ne Maiwa or Mwati Monis of the galamsey na yaka ho asem se sense wo sense ase no. They are not going to stop. Enti ombegu so sense wo ne nsase. And this wo he videos here wo hu ade we mu ya. Jumadi omudi no ho no ene na wo hu no na awerho to the point say wo he juma na omudi na nema na omochi ya chiri de wo hu a ga apampa so yi wi ya chichire ne nkete a ye turn or higher sign numbi and there are big parcels of we about 11 big parcels omudi gu mura mu ye di wi hu dwa and ye di two galamsey essence ase enti soldier for we operation no mokoye ye no they were able to scoop all these individuals we have video no ma we know na the packages egu ho na make am asem and several other individuals arrest in the coming days. I spoke to somebody our forestry commission and the person says they are on their way to Accra Renji before the court na me they ka ho ne say sa nkranketo ayo hu omo we they are not the owners of this concession. the big people out there, the owners, the sponsors are the very people. We need to use these people as bait to get those campaigns. Because until we get the campaigns, these young people, will be substituted. We will go, another batch will come, and the owners of this particular land must be identified. And I am suggesting, say, even this land, the illegal mining. Let us, in the first place, confiscate the land, because you're using the land for a criminal activity. So you lose the right to own it, and the state will confiscate this land and turn it into a state land. That will be one of the ways that force one for one kasa wasasi a gold room. Now by na Jeffrey some they confiscated that particular land, Now owner now or signed the land na concession, yasia channel. And for me, that is the way I bet me stop some of these nonsense uhuno high and they, because anyasa you bet me a chimranti way do marco. We can jail them, we can do whatever. The next day, the same campaign, because they control the money, they have the resources, they have everything, They will identify another poor young people who are very hungry, and they'll put them up to do the same thing. So the target should, that is why if you go to America and other places, in their fight against drug, an individual that is caught smoking and as all cocaine or weed, that particular person, attention in the society, they all count the peddler. Because when you stop the supplier, you stop the person that is using. Because supply and then the continuous usage, so you cut the supply. That is why very often in drug fights, you choose the drug barons, but not the users. Or it's a supply chain. You cut the supply, the people using it on daily basis, Most of them are even patient, because you arrest some of them, you realize that they are junkies. They've even lost their mind. So prosecuting those people will amount to nothing. You even have to spend money to keep them at a rehabilitation center just to clean them, because on normal drone they are saying. So the very person to be very radical or go after is the campaigns behind this whole thing. So that is the way of information. It happen, and sometimes if you look at some of the videos in it, when let me try and show you some of the video, and may assure say uhu wakuma betu operations na omoko no eno na I say no. So this is 9 months omo visiting some of these areas among for boys have made shift in the so more or less it's like a city. And I'm for the year galamsey. The air cost why year can, I'm for year same to year sense. I said, yes, Japaniano. These people enter she, or mono, or what you would and on air to we. So, no, we are, or you're fine enough for your papa share, and I pay your same to sense. I said, so campaign, yes, sustaining with TV, so I'm for a president, dinner, so minister, the would have or more canon. These people have decided that Omonte, and they are still, that is why weekend way. And at this particular Monday we are and at this operation course. So last 2 weeks, last January, last month, campaign in some that is why I'm telling you, sir, the approach this time round must be very radical, not targeting the very saying these people alone, but the campaigns behind some of these criminal enterprises. We need to go full force after them, and let us not also sit here and create impressions. Nothing is being done. I can tell you, sir, a lot is being done. You may argue, sir, it's not enough, but in terms of deploying your personnel, logistic, and the commitment on the part of government, much has been demonstrated. But you see, because of the ravaging and the kind of impact in Ghana, that's why the expectation is that it will stop. But it's not possible, say, within a short period, we will be able to stop it, galamsey. But we can reduce it to the barest minimum by using all the harsher tools available to scare people. That has to be established. So the operations are ongoing. The minister on daily basis is in the bush with his team. Forestry Commission, the deputies in for they are all in the bushes on daily basis trying to ensure we have cancer Ghana for community. They will try and help to resolve this particular thing. In as much as it's a tough thing, once victory is achieved, it also become a big success and victory for whoever that is involved in this whole big fight. So, and I listen to some people who are saying, so let's give up. Galamsey fight. No, that is a weak approach. We cannot give up on ourselves at this point in time. At the moment, the government has demonstrated enough willingness and commitment to say they will not shield and protect, because President Mahama said, no, onto galamsey only interest to women. And if the person is saying onto galamsey only interest to women, then the state should have no problem going after anybody that is involved, whether the person is a party chairman, MP, minister, whoever. We need to be very radical in our approach and go after everybody, because you see, this distraction, it's not just about a switch and say sika, because the outcome, then the consequences, are predictable. It will be at any point in time, because we see about thing, trouble, so could be a bunch of the when be a free buy. Or talk or call, or talk nam, say everybody is at risk. So there is no partisan, your friends saying, allegiances, whatever in this particular way. Obia is at risk. That is why, in a concerted effort, once in the past, the president never demonstrated willingness and commitment. We get galamsey who demonstration, your boy, your child form, and I'm in a rough Nicole show. And you know, dear, Oliver, galamsey no mkwaya who demonstration, your boy, mo form, can remind you, or deny or bail our court. But this government has not done that. He has opened the door, engaging people, CSOs come, opinion, it means the government is ready, has demonstrated willingness, and it is our job as the people of this country, because it's not all the time. So what is the point? It's the reason why all of us need to get involved. Baby, as I criticize here, be bold enough and criticize. Baby, as I born about, so be bold enough, not born about, so alternative suggestions I will try and put them across, because I need a teacher of mine. And that is the way we cannot give up on ourselves and say, galamsey no dear, no. When you do that, it means you are a coward. You are just checking it out. We need to, if suppression, I say, bring it to those who are involved, those who are supposed to make the decision. We need to just to ensure that, because Nipa no must say to know, we are Ghana for. In as much as we say it's a party, they are just taking advantage of the weaknesses in the system. And one way, they will end up destroying your government and as the country for all of us. It's the reason why all of us need to muzzle up, man up, stand up to this bunch of criminals. A handful womb, a soft woman, big politicians, MPs, a Wontumi and an power that's all. And I'm coming to Wontumi. You see, so this whole Wontumi thing, initially they wanted to do it like politics, NDC, MPP, nothing, because Chroma Uni so Kukunipa Krana Obana and NDC, MPP, not Yabatuagu. But that particular agenda, I'm fat. Wontumi, Omonkochi Wontumi because or MPP ni, ana Odi Jomahama Tem, ana Okansemtia, na Jane Nasifo. No, this is a guy who was involved in a criminal activity, galamsey, not in any area, forest reserve. Obekaya, the issue no by na forestry commission at the time no say they didn't give him permit. Minerals commission say omu nim no ema kwaku ba akomba ba ye ho stories na asfo omu di na temtwe from here we are ema president Akufo-Addo kogina Catholic Bishop Conference ase ewo Koforodua ka kire Ghana for say Wontumi nyanya ehwe sa case na ya ba na university, because I told government say amam for say wo nya hwe. Tell them that you are doing something. The best thing to do that is to start by prosecuting people who have caused this particular damage. Because in the past, people, there are people who have lost their lives. There are people who have died in this country. So we cannot sit here and say, oh, and they are no. It can be possible. I'm coming. So that is why we need to come together and say, maybe Rudy Wontumi charges and actually I'm what the aquase. And the situation, saying that here. And then I say Chairman Wontumi to spend night in custody after failing to meet 25 million bail. Your friend saying 25 million bail in mining cases. Yes. So Wontumi case, two separate cases. Can't two no boma. The bail condition 25 million Ghana cedis. And then I agree. And as I say, your friend said, run a job or trim or tribama the action. Because there is no way to satisfy that bail condition at the time, and now you check it your friend saying wait for her. Because in the case, first one, 6 count, and the other one, 7 count in different cases. So I'm going to take you through the cases for you. Okay, so I say this follows a criminal charge filed against him by the Office of the Attorney General over alleged breaches of the Ghana's Mining Act. So Wontumi case, and yes, a BBR galamsey a why no kroma or breaching Mining Act. Oh, kroma say, makase to show seriousness, President need to pick the from what in report. Now, other people who are involved, prosecute or and this particular thing should not stop with Wontumi. Echo, I will see. Any other campaigns no more to parliament or more to galamsey other galamsey sika ko we parliament no more de shembra no, we need to go after all these individuals just to tell Ghana for say indeed the government is ready, the government is serious and is willing. And he is accused of assigning mineral rights without approval and facilitating unlicensed mineral activities. Or no assassin wa fa kwan mo no so afa no na ono anso assign it to individuals. Ghana na ye na de nti asase no na na wuye na odigya no said the John owu ya oye Ghana forest will the man of fase to kan omo ho no. That's the same thing. Asase no nye na dem ko na ban na abanti no kasa boom 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 na o twitwa dem amanfo say yasa omuntu enti say ukọ cases na your friend say Wontumi facing na makacho say the first charges na 7 count and ya charge no and the second way no so 7 count, and I'm coming to take you through the 7 count First count na undertaking a mining operation without a license. Akonta Mining Company Limited. I say Akonta Mining Company Limited is accused of operating a mining concession at Samaraboy in 2022 without a valid license from the minister, contrary to Section 992A of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, that is Act 703, as amended by Act 995. So that is the first one. Wakoshe, our friend saying, asase su tu galamsey efuntam nema license onibi emra no kire say wunya valid license ansa na watimi ayesa ade no wanya enti ya che no na ko gina court say o me kire say asase ne say ye ni dia na ye ne sede a obetimi akwa tu galamsey abra only license a ewo Samara Boy in the Western region. Second county undertaking mining operation without a license. Ono ankasa as Chairman Wontumi no, Chairman Wontumi and one Kwame Entry ono wadwane allegedly conducted mining operation as owners and directors of the same Akonta Mining within the Tano Nimire Forest Reserve without authorization. Enti we no so no Chairman Wontumi we nya Samara Boy o Forest Reserve ono na abrante bi na abrante na dwane one no kwahye sa Tano Nimire Forest na ho asem ba ya na ye kaka no Forest Reserve na nya dam na wo tima de na beba mo wasesa mfidie ne akogu Forest Reserve na sojafo e bo na ho ban na mutu the name the same as sojafo ni police for no mo bo na ho ban no omo na ene uhu omo na omo twe ne form aye na for the car no you see say catch say wunya power na wunnim nyansa a different win someone na behu say ye o yesa masa no anya wuni pada sani na ye o masa o post na wudi no na ye o yesa masa o chena ukoye ordinary person na obi ehu onfiu adodo na nim nyansa o munya tumi a o ma dwen so o motesoro. Third count, undertaking a mining operation without a license. And the announcement, the company's general manager, Edward Akwoko, the operating manager, Kwaku Owusu Bempa alias Sly at large, are also accused of operating unlawfully within mining reserve, your friends a forest reserve. And now over the fourth count now, felling trees in the forest reserve without written authority. A Quantum Mining Limited is said to have felling more than 300 merchantable trees and several saplings in the forest reserve, contrary to section. And the no forest reserve no kotu galamsey ade ya betwa nwia to agu enwia a ye ton di nya sika of forest enwia na e wo no nso no wo na de o sa timber na nasefo no nso no emra wo ha no so ebo ho ban okotwa to gu ye without authorization and all due to the galamsey. And also one of the charges said no. Fifth count, no, abatement of unauthorized, felling of trees. Or can who be some sort of a conspiracy? I say mukana and I'm not so mukan we are to go here, and also it's a crime. Then the sixth count near erecting buildings in the forest reserve without written authority. Omoye amaju so mbetu galamsey wo muram no. And now, almost saying if you can be to get almost saying AC a dying at near say a forest reserve. There is a reason, biodiversity, whole lot of reasons, and a conserve forest. Sabi will be untouched. Okuchamu in reality to go and science ya dying about patawum and in crew for bedemo to galamsey. Wontumi kroyao. And at the seventh count in the abatement of unauthorized erection of buildings in the forest reserve, Wontumi and his co-accused allegedly facilitated the construction of these structures within the forest reserve without written authorization from competent forestry authority. Chairman Wontumi, who was earlier granted 1 million bail with 2 sureties, met the bail condition that was in the past in Naseforo. And Wontumi, I kind of want to say, and is still in custody. Or more try so betting I find the sureties in as for court, no, you're more court when no court and I granted the bill. I'll be appear subsequently in the coming days, no better or back court. Say, you're seizing the passport. I say, I'm find the passport, say, or back or me do or making sure, say, the passport is deposited at the registry, our court. Now, I'm making sure, say, on Tran so and now on Tramoto so or cross Ghana border. He has been grounded. Oti kroma kopim say be dinner sema we are na say court no ebe vary in terms. And until now there Wontumi cannot get okojina your friend saying Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire border so na so or ye mistake na the 9 AC Cote d'Ivoire your friend saying land so obekwa kodam. And he's supposed to stay in this country, not travel, and make sure say there be out no obekwa akokire. There be one fan of one then there will be a warrant for his arrest. And that is his situation. And in the coming days, who say Wontumi be court dinasem, and some of us will be monitoring to see how, because ain't me may crock the Jones and I wouldn't mean that. No. Because I catch say, you see, time has come for us to protect the destiny of this country. And be very much concerned about the nation we are bequeathing to generation yet to come. So we are going to and watch everything that is going to happen. And I've always argued, say, this thing should not just end with Wontumi, Eko Awisi, and several other people at the presidency. Now, Abronya Beka said no more presidency forest. Let us investigate that. Who gave that authorization? Everybody that if you doing this, you are also sending a message to people in this present NDC administration. Say, Wunuya Yadene Kodo. And this is what buying crime prosecutor in the future. A 40 years crime buying will also come after you. Because these are some of the conventional red lines that the Biameka say we need to establish as people. Your failure and yes, idea we are. People will be ruthless and they will destroy this country, and that is what we need to do. So on this point, I like the approach, I like the willingness, I like the commitment. Abinu demonstrated say indeed, yes, there are people within who are also bent on satisfying their insatiable greed in whichever way. They don't care if they have to destroy every forest, every land. But you see, it's a battle between good and bad. It doesn't matter which side you belong to. Once you take the side of a bad, you are evil, and we need to come after you. That should be the appropriate space that we should be operating. And for me, I think we can win because the minister has demonstrated willingness, commitment. The president has demonstrated willingness, commitment, and the state is ready. Now, Minister Nana Tam, sir, your friend say, act and not the comma, Attorney General say, on ye, just to revoke it. And for me, I've been calling, say, a madness will be better than baby. I can say, Yamaho, Kwama Yanko, to go our forest reserve. Now, the new forest reserve, near 2 years. Now, Sikano cry to over the years, and about Papa Ben, about yes, no. We need to be very diligent, conserve these things, and make sure that they are one of you should be. Now, yen say yen so by the biodiversity in as a form, and then look at the weather. What you are, we need to conserve these things. Few greedy people, Nipana move to galamsey, no can say yans are for Munya go down pass, or Munya Sikana Quasia, no moody. Untuminas and Quasia Sikai. Your friends said, now no TNTM say Los 0 car 15 and a good if any aquasisa. Now one more dama. Nipa bang. And now all yet very learned, intelligent people are all part of a governance architecture. Now obeti sika kwa koto Los 0 car makumako 15 and the beguni fee. I feel no team nipo mo twa no ho hye nyina here for more dama. Will you do that? I think you see we need to be very, very factual, very straightforward, and make sure that we tell people the ugly truth, because you see some of these cover face, some of these your friends say back pass be their mom into me that kind of way though. We risk destroying this country.